Hello, and do you guys know what time it is? It is time for Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710, and I'm your host, Vasavi Kumar. I don't know what it is. I'm like extra giddy today. I have like a lot of energy, so I'm hoping it'll rub off on all of you listening to give you a little extra pep in your step. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day so far. And, you know, I am still blown away by last week's show. We had the pleasure of speaking to my mentor, Lisa Nichols, the author of 3 best-selling books, one of which I think all of you need to go out and get. It's called No Matter What, 9 Steps to Living the Life That You Love. And if you missed last week's show, no worries. You can get the podcast at www.710kcmo.com, or you can visit my website at www.vasavikumar.com. You know, Lisa made so many points. And to name a few, she really spoke about letting go of your stuff, your story, and your past in order to powerfully move forward. The example that she had given is really, if you want to get through to the other side of a door, but you're holding on to 5 garbage bags of your junk, of your past, of all the circumstances, there's no way you're going to be able to get through to the other side of that door to where great things are available and possible for you. She also spoke about the law of no matter what. So what does that mean? Well, the law of no matter what, as she simply stated it, is that your commitment to having it all is non-negotiable. See, it's no longer an option for you to keep holding on to the past in order to have the life that you truly want, that you truly deserve. A life filled with abundance, prosperity, and wealth. So just ask yourself, are you still holding on to the past? Are you finally ready to let it go and move forward? And if you even have to think about that, then what are you waiting for? Give me a call at 913-951-1764, and we can set up your 60-minute coaching session today to really look at what are the things that are stopping you and really what is it that you want to create in your life. So we talked a lot about stories, and many people who are new on their personal growth journey, their journey within, they ask me, how can I tell if I have a story? You know, lots of times we have a story that has been running our lives and we aren't even aware of it. So last week, I was about to share with all of you about a conversation that I recently had with one of my clients during our weekly coaching sessions, but I ran out of time. So I wanted to share it with you guys today. So I think I've said this many times that one of the ways that I work with my clients is to help transform their conversation with themselves and to uncover what's the story from the past that you haven't let go of. See, my client had a story that she had been holding on to pretty much her whole life. She came from a wonderful family, was given a lot of love, a lot of attention, and she had a very, as she would call it, privileged life. She was able to uncover what exactly her story was when she was able to identify how she sabotaged herself and her success. She always spoke about never wanting to talk too much about herself to anyone, never wanting to shine too brightly. She was the kind of woman that even if she had major successes and accomplishments in her life, she wouldn't tell anyone because she truly felt that if she did do that, then she would be spoiled, that she'd be kind of bratty talking about herself. We really worked to uncover where did that come from and what the costs and payoffs were. And really, if she dropped that story like a bag of hot potatoes, then who would she be? I'm very happy to say that she's taken the action to transform her story from being apologetic for the gifts that God has given her to being grateful. So let me just say that again. She was sorry for the gifts that she had been given. She felt bad. She felt like she had to hide them. And we really worked to transform that story so that she could be coming from a place of gratitude and humility for what she had been given. You see, we are not our past, but because of our circumstances, because of what people have told us, we truly believe that we are defined by that. And that's really the story that Lisa was talking about. And that's really the story that I'm talking about, that if you let go of that, you can truly have anything that you want in your life. So I'm very excited about today's show. I have a dear friend of mine, and a colleague, Doreen Rainey. She's a radical success coach. She actually happens to be in the Global Leadership Program with me, along with Lisa Nichols. So how many of you have ever wondered if there are steps to being successful? Like clear, concrete steps to being successful. Now, I'm not talking about a get-rich-quick scheme or, as my dad would call it, the BBD, the bigger, better deal. I'm talking about the inner work, the inside job that you need to be doing, the conversation that you need to be having with your soul to truly be successful. That's what we're going to be talking about today, so you definitely don't want to miss out. So you're listening to KCMO, Talk Radio 710. We're going to go to a break, and when we get back, we're going to be talking to my radical friend and colleague, Doreen Rainey.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Sean Hannity. Cutting through the liberal bias and giving you the information you need.
The rhetoric is over the top. No lectures from Barack Obama. No, that's right. He was the one out there saying that Republicans want kids with autism and Down syndrome to fend for themselves and old people to fend for themselves. But you know what? Not a peep out of your liberal media.
Sean Hannity, weekdays from 2 till 5 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com, 913-951-1764.
Grandpa!
Hey, there he is. Come on up here and sit on the porch with me.
I love staying here. How long have you lived here?
A long time. You know, your mother grew up here.
I'm gonna have a house like this when I grow up.
I hope so, buddy. I hope so.
For the first time in generations, the dream of home ownership is being threatened. Realtors, members of the National Association of Realtors, are here to represent you and protect home ownership. Visit houselogic.com/home ownership to learn more.
Get in the zone! When your check engine light comes on, it could be something serious. And AutoZone can help you figure it out. We'll read the trouble code for you free and help you fix it right the first time before a small problem becomes a bigger one. And if you're not comfortable doing the repair yourself, we can refer you to a professional. So remember, when your check engine light comes on, have it checked for free at AutoZone. Because parts are just part of what we do.
Get in the zone!
AutoZone.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
710.
Caring for KC.
Did you know there are homeless children here in Kansas City? Hungry children, not just from lack of food, but for a place they can call home. Community Link helps families break the cycle of poverty and homelessness. Join them. Be part of the solution.
For more information on this and other community efforts, visit the KCMO Talk Radio 710 Community Affairs website at caringforkc.com. KCMO Talk Radio 710.
They employ much of the world's workforce, contribute a great deal to the global GDP. Look out your window and you'll see a bunch of them. Building, collaborating, innovating. Some call them mid-sized businesses, but there's nothing mid about them. They're engines, and we'd like to introduce them to you. IBM and the Good Company Project are proud to present some of the most inspired mid-sized companies and their business partners, helping to build a smarter planet. Get to know these engines by visiting facebook.com/midmarketibm. Mid-sized businesses are the engines of a smarter planet.
Have you heard what's so funny? It's the new Funny 1025, the one radio station dedicated to all comedy all the time. Powered by Cali Tires and Seal Masters. Get your funny on. Funny 1025.
Today on Sweet Jack, Patriots Bar and Grill. Taste American pub classics at prices John Hancock himself would totally sign off on for 50% off. Half off at Patriots Bar and Grill on sweetjack.com.
KCMO Talk Radio 710. When you get in your car, get the great one, The Mark Levin Show. Weekdays at 5 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
We are back, and this is Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. And I am your humble host, Vasavi Kumar. And I am so excited. I mean, I think it's fair to say that I'm always excited on every show because I have amazing guests that have so much to offer to all of our listeners. So it's just one of those days again where I am super excited to be here with my friend and colleague, Doreen Rainey. And she's simply fabulous. And I've had an opportunity to be with her in the Global Leadership Program for almost half a year. She is such a kind soul, and she's so radical. And Doreen is driven by a singular vision. It's to help people define success for themselves and then have the guts to go after it. And I love that because you can think about it, you can talk about it, but unless you go after it and take the action, it doesn't mean a thing. I'm sorry to say, but it's the truth. She's also the founder of the Get Radical Women's Conference, which is being held in D.C. this year from March 30th to April 1st. Guys, Doreen asked me to be a featured coach at the conference so that her attendees could sign up to get coaching sessions. And of course, I immediately said yes. The caliber of women that Doreen attracts, here's a mere glimpse. Her keynote speakers are Lisa Nichols from last week, our wonderful guest, Lisa Nichols, Susie Orman, yes, Susie Orman, and Jillian Michaels, yes, Jillian Michaels from The Biggest Loser. I mean, this is the kind of woman that Doreen is. She can attract these powerhouse individuals to come to a conference of hers, and she's just, I'm so happy that she's here, and she attracts brilliance to her because that is exactly what she puts out there. So thank you so much, Doreen, for calling in to be on the show. It really means so much to me. I know the conference is literally days away and you've taken the time out to be here. And guys, we have a juicy topic. We're going to just get right into it. It's the 7 steps to radical success. So Doreen, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, I am so excited to be with you today. Looking forward to it.
Doreen, I got to ask you, and I'm sure our listeners are wondering, you know, I've called you radical many times. You're a radical success coach. You have the Get Radical Women's Conference. We're doing the 7 steps to radical success. Let me ask you, why radical?
You know, radical actually came out of my coaching practice. I had been working with clients one-on-one to help them really move through the challenges that really held them back and kept them stuck. And after doing this for a while, I started asking them, you know, what was it about my style? What was it about our work together that really helped you accomplish your goals? And the word radical kept coming up, that I would push them to do something so far out of their comfort zone to really not think so much about step by step, but to begin to think about making leaps. And that word radical kept coming up over and over again. And so I started saying, well, yes, I'm working with people to help them get radical, to make leaps, to go beyond what they even think is possible. And so I began to incorporate that process. I looked at what I actually did with my clients and created a process to really work with people to help them accomplish their goals.
Beautiful. So let's just get right into it. What's the first step to radical success?
Radical is actually an acronym. And so looking at each of the letters, it kind of walks you through the process that you need to take yourself through to really get radical. And the first one is R, which stands for realize your responsibility. And that means you have to take 100% responsibility for where you are, period. End of story. you are responsible for where you are. The choices you've made, everything that you've done, your reactions to situations, to circumstances, all of that has brought you to this place, and you have to accept responsibility for that.
So I have a question. Does responsibility mean like blaming yourself?
Absolutely not. This is not about shame, blame, or guilt. It is about responsibility. And that simply means that you cannot look to the outside, mother, father, sister, brother, old boss, old boyfriend, circumstances, situation, past experiences, to continually blame them for where you are in your life. You have to say, what has happened to me has happened to me, and now I'm going to say, this is where I am, and I'm going to take this place and move forward.
I think when we talked about this, Doreen, we also were talking about the word ownership. And I think I may have given you this example. It's kind of like a house, right? When you buy a house, you're responsible for all of it. You're responsible for the leaks. You're responsible for the cracks. And you don't have anyone to blame. I mean, you might want to blame the rain, but you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you just got to get it handled. Just get it handled. And and can I ask you, what is the value of taking responsibility? Like, if I'm thinking as a listener here, why would I want to take responsibility for how it's gone up until this point?
Well, without taking responsibility, then you always give yourself an out. You always give yourself an excuse. And you can very easily slip into the victim mode, where things are now happening to you, that you're not in control, that someone else is driving your bus. And until you decide to sit in the driver's seat and take responsibility for where that bus is headed, the route that that bus takes, then you're always going to be in a place of excuse.
I love it. I love it. And so, guys, I mean, can you already tell how juicy it's getting? I mean, that's because you're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. So keep listening. So, Doreen, that's great. So the first R is just realize, take responsibility, own what has happened up until this point, not from a place of blame or shame or guilt, but really from just owning it and just saying like, yes, I created this. It doesn't mean you're bad or good or right or wrong. It's just, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No right, no wrong, just is.
I love it. I love it, Doreen, because otherwise you're always going to give yourself an out and stay in victim mode, which stinks.
Right.
Okay. So the second step, Doreen, A, is what?
Is affirm. Okay. So now that we've taken responsibility, we have realized some things. We know where we are. And if we want something different in our lives, we have to affirm within ourselves that we are absolutely capable of changing our situation. We're absolutely capable of taking a different path and creating different results in our lives. And we have to affirm that. We have to know that in our head and in our heart, that everything we need is in us. Every piece of knowledge, of information, of courage, of strength is already there, and we have to affirm that so that we can move forward.
So when I think of the word affirm, I also think of affirmation. So is affirm also just, telling yourself that you are worthy and you are deserving?
It's telling yourself that you're worthy and deserving, but it's believing it. Because I've worked with many clients, and they have the Post-it notes, and they have the little cute cards, and they stand in the mirror every day, and they say things, and they, listen to tapes and repeat words, and all of those things are important. But if that knowledge doesn't transfer into the core of your being, where you absolutely believe it and you don't just say it, then that's the part where transformation takes place.
I love that. So it really is it's a mind, body, and spirit deal that's going on. It's not just I am beautiful, but thinking to yourself, no, I'm really ugly.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So it's basically being completely intentional and on purpose about and conscious of the thoughts in your head, the words that you're speaking, and the actions that you're taking in your life.
Yes.
Which leads
and affirming that you're capable, that you are able.
That's beautiful. I love that. And I always tell you, Doreen, when we talk about this, how beautiful it is. I really love these 7 steps, and I don't want to give it away to everyone. So let's just keep moving. So the decide. I just gave it away. I just gave it away. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, so the D is for decide.
Okay.
You know, you've taken responsibility. You've affirmed that you have the capability to change it. Now you have to decide, what are you going to do? And what's interesting about these first 3 steps is that this is all head work.
What do you mean by that? Yeah.
Haven't changed anything, done anything, gone anywhere, made anything. You know, this is deciding what you're going to do with this newfound information. What are you going to do to change the choices that you've made in the past? What are you going to do to move in a different direction? You have to make some decisions. And this step is about taking the time to make those decisions.
You know, have you ever had clients that they are presented with two options?
Mm-hmm.
I remember you said to me that it's deciding is as simple as, do you want to hold on to the poopy life that you've been holding on to and the sad story, or do you want this amazing life filled with wealth and prosperity and happiness and peace? I mean, is that the kind of decision that you're talking about?
It is those kinds of decisions, because when you look at what your options are, and we always have a choice. People tend to say, you don't know my situation, I'm stuck, I don't have a choice, this is where I have to be. Well, that's absolutely not true. We are always in choice. And choice doesn't equal change. Choice equals action. And so when you make a choice, it may take you a day to see the change. It may take you a year to see the change. If you make a decision that you want to leave the field that you've worked in for the last 20 years and do something completely different, that transition period is what leads to the change. But the decision you make today so that you can then move forward in those decisions.
So I have a question. So we're going to talk a little bit about the rest of the steps later, but you said that the first 3 steps, responsible, affirm, and decide. I'm sorry, realize, affirm, and decide, is the head work. Is it possible to move forward in the process? And I know we haven't talked about the process, but I wanted to get your take on this. Would you say it's possible to really move forward in your life fully, in your power, in your greatness, without doing this? Like, basically, you know, you could do the affirmation and you could say, yes, I've decided, I've chosen. But is it possible to really move forward if you're not fully believing and living these first 3 steps?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Moving forward to accomplish your goals, get what you want out of life, so to speak, and go that path that is the outside of us, a job, a career, a business, material things. You can achieve those things. I know many successful people who still don't believe they deserve it. And so they have no joy. They live in doubt. They live in fear. They can do it. They can do the skill of it, but their success doesn't bring them pure, like you said, mind, body, spirit, completion. So until we know that we're ready for responsibility, you're always going to be completely not fulfilled.
Now, for our listeners out there who are maybe thinking about attending the Get Radical Women's Conference, guys, it's going to be so awesome. Would you say that you built this conference on the principles of your 7 steps to radical success? Like everything that you're going to be sharing with us today, is that really what built your conference? Just those philosophies?
Yes, everything that you're going to experience at that conference is on top of being built on the foundation of these strategies. The speakers that I bring in, the content that we share, the strategies, the tools, and the resources that all of our attendees receive are geared towards helping them see the totality of the process it takes to create the life that we want. Success is relative, so it doesn't matter if you want to be Mother Teresa or Donald Trump. The process to get there is the same. And many people confuse success with material or, you know, running a big corporation. Success means that you have defined it for yourself and you have the guts to go after it. And you need to incorporate all of these steps into that process.
I love this,
so
Doreen.
You can achieve it.
Thank you so much, Doreen. Guys, we're going to go to a break. You're listening to Deep Talk, KCMO 710 Talk Radio. When we get back, we're going to be taking some action.
It's the KCMO Morning Show with Greg Knapp.
Chevy Volt sold 7,671 units in 2011, fewer than the 10,000 it wanted. But hey,
Analysts expect electric vehicle sales to remain a small fraction of overall sales in the next 5 years because of the higher purchase price. You think?
Fox News Radio, I'm Liz White. Results coming in on Russia's presidential election. Exit polls project a Vladimir Putin win in a landslide with 58% of the vote. A heavily scrutinized election with opposition allegations of widespread violations. Putin supporters celebrating in Moscow. Saying diplomacy is the preferred course in dealing with Iran's nuclear program, President Obama cautioned,
I will not hesitate to use force when it is necessary to defend the United States and its interests.
Israeli President Shimon Peres spoke at the same pro-Israel conference in D.C. this morning.
If we are forced to fight, trust me, we shall prevail.
If Aaron Perez also said Iran would be a nuclear menace to the world. Just ahead of Super Tuesday, Mitt Romney picks up a key endorsement from House Majority Leader Eric Cantor. Cantor on NBC calling the economy the central issue in the presidential race. Fox News, we report, you decide.
710. Mostly cloudy, windy, and warmer here on our Sunday. Temperatures will warm into the lower 50s by noon before reaching the middle 50s this afternoon. It will be windy with wind gusts to 30 miles an hour out of the northwest this afternoon. The wind will start to calm down a bit tonight, only to pick back up again on Monday with a high of 59. I'm KCTV5 meteorologist Tom Walks.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
At Advance Auto Parts, we don't do anything just part way. We go full throttle. We don't just have monthly specials on oil. No, we work to bring you deals that'll knock your lucky socks off. Right now, you can get a 5+ quarts jug of Pennzoil conventional motor oil and filter for just $20.99. And speaking of lucky, when you come into Advance Auto Parts, you can enter to win free gas for a year. So hunt down your lucky rabbit's foot and throw on your rarely washed lucky t-shirt, because right now, everybody gets lucky at Advance with a great deal on oil. And 5 even luckier people win free gas for an entire year. Get a Pennzoil conventional oil change special for just $20.99 and enter to win free gas for a year. Right now at Advance Auto Parts. Service is our best part. Advance Auto Parts. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Visit advanceautoparts.com/Pennzoil for program rules and to enter.
When we move forward, so does the rest of the economy. CSX trains are the most cost-efficient way to move goods to market. CSX, how tomorrow moves.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today, 913-707-8710, or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patients' aches and pains, and they fix yours.
Check out Kansas City's newest radio station, Funny 1025, the only station for all comedy all the time. Powered by Missouri Gas Energy and Planet Sub. Whether you're laughing with us or laughing at us, we'll have you laughing. Funny 1025.
Today on Sweet Jack, Patriots Bar and Grill. Taste American pub classics at prices John Hancock himself would totally sign off on for 50% off. Half off at Patriots Bar and Grill on sweetjack.com.
KCMO, tackling the issues of the day without giving you a concussion. Although we do break things down. KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Hi, guys. We're back. This is Vasavi, and you are listening to Deep Talk on KCMO Talk Radio 710. And I'm here with the beautiful, the brilliant, and my radical friend and colleague, Doreen Rainey. She's a radical success coach. We've just been covering the first 3 of the 7 steps to radical success. And I wanted to share with you guys, if you're interested in going to our conference, it's going to be radical. And I know that because I'm going. And it's the Get Radical Women Conference. So I highly recommend, if you're a women business owner, entrepreneur, and you really want to get out there, connect with some amazing radical women, check out the conference website at getradicalconference.com. There's still some tickets left. So I highly recommend that you go to that website and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
the great thing, Vasavi, just also is that we're doing 2 for 1. So when you register for the conference, you'll get a general registration that you can give to a friend, share with a friend, so you can come, get the same content, the same information, and then hold each other accountable once you get back home.
I love that idea. I think that is very generous of you, and it's a very smart idea, and it truly shows, Doreen, your commitment to serving women and having them really live radically successful lives. So that's awesome. Thanks for doing that. Guys, I mean, yeah, bring a friend. Why not? Like, why, that way it could be fun. Transformation is fun, guys. So we were just talking about the first 3 steps. R is to realize, take responsibility for how it's gone up until this point. A is to affirm to yourself that you are capable of doing and being all that you need to be to get to where you want to be. D is to decide. Is to really have that conversation with yourself. What do I choose? Who do I want to be? What do I want to do? Just really making that decision. And Doreen, what's the is there anything you wanted to add to that up until this point?
No, I think that is so, as I said earlier, critical to do this mind work so that you can move more smoothly into the remaining steps.
Okay, so what is I?
I is investigate. Now you've made some decisions. Now you have to know what it's going to take to make it happen. And sometimes people will make a decision and jump right into action. They start doing something, and then they experience frustration, disappointment, extra challenges and setbacks because they haven't done the proper research. And so I always encourage people, after you make some decisions, investigate, read, study, talk to some people, know exactly what it's going to take for you to get what it is you say you want.
Okay, so I'm wondering here that have you ever had a client come to you and is very ready to take action, but they're not taking responsibility in their life. They don't truly believe that they're capable, and they haven't really powerfully chosen.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So,
but they don't know it.
Okay.
Most people aren't aware of why they struggle. Most people aren't aware of why is it so hard. They don't know that they're actually full of self-doubt. They don't know that they actually feel they're not good enough. They don't know that the decisions they make are wavering. 1 minute they're in, 1 minute they're out. And they just keep trying to get into action without having done all of these steps before.
Doreen, I had a client come to me, and she thought I was a business coach, and I'm not. I don't market myself as a business coach. I work on all of you, right? I'm a transformational coach, and she just wanted to take action, but she kept getting stopped, and and I had to reflect back to her, you're sabotaging yourself.
Right.
You want to take action. I know you want to do, but the being, really how you were speaking about the core of her being was
right.
She had not fully owned it and tapped into that, and really she was operating more from her head than she was from her heart. Have you ever found that with any of your clients?
Absolutely. When most people try to convince themselves in their head instead of believe it with their heart. And most people want, you talk about transformation, it takes time and it's a process. And many times we get impatient and we want things to happen right away. And that leads us to believe that if we do more, then the transformation will happen faster. But that's not always the case.
Negative.
Sometimes it's the case.
Yeah.
But most times you can't work your way into believing in yourself. You can't work your way into, making decisions and sticking with them and being true to who you are. And many times we're trying to do work instead of being truly honest with ourselves and knowing who we are and that we believe in ourselves.
I love that. Guys, if you're interested in checking out Doreen, are you still doing one-on-one work with clients, Doreen?
I am doing some one-on-one work with clients.
Okay. Guys, if you're interested, check out Doreen. Her website is www.doreenrainey.com, and I'll spell that for you guys. It's DOREEN, as in Nancy. Her last name, Rainey, RAIN, as in Nancy, EY.com. She's awesome. If her stuff is really resonating with you right now, go to her website, check her out. So we've talked about realizing, taking responsibility, affirming, really affirming to yourself that you are capable of changing, you're capable of transforming, deciding, really choosing to have a better life for yourself and making that decision, making that choice. And we just finished talking about investigating, like really what is it going to take? If you want to write a book or if you want to start a business, instead of just kind of getting into it, just head first, just feet first, go ahead and actually research and talk to people who have done it and just really do the behind the scenes work before you actually just kind of jump right into it, which it would be very useful then to have the assistance of a coach. Wouldn't you say, Doreen?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, guys, you are listening to Deep Talk. It's KCMO 710 Talk Radio, the best station in the entire world. So we're going to go next into our fifth step. What is that, Doreen?
It is C, which is create a plan. And this isn't, where you kind of jot down a few notes and get a few things in place. This is creating a real plan. If you want to start a business, it's a business plan. If you want to lose weight, it's a plan around your eating and your exercise. If you want to get out of debt, it is a plan, a process to do that. You still haven't done anything yet. I don't know if people have noticed, but we're 5 steps in. You haven't done anything yet. And most people skip all this pre-work. They just want to do. This plan, this process is critical to you not experiencing some of the challenges and setbacks that we all experience to some extent, but some of that we bring upon ourselves.
Guys,
so it's about a plan.
For you listeners out there, for all of you listeners out there, my dear listeners, if you have an idea and you really want to move forward in your life and you have up until this point done everything alone and just kind of played Lone Ranger in your life, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to hire a coach, hire a mentor, work with someone to really help you move forward. You don't have to do it alone. So if you're interested in really creating a plan, call me 913-951-1764. Visit my website at www.vasavikumar.com. This is the point of working with the coach, is so you don't have to struggle and suffer and talk about a plan, but not actually create a plan. So, Doreen, when you talk with your clients about creating a plan, like you guys get into the nitty gritty, I'm assuming, right?
Well, we try to get into the nitty, but most people, believe it or not, they're in resistance in this step. And part of it is because it makes it real. When you have to really think about the process, the next 6 months, the next 12 months, and write out what those steps are going to be, people, for some reason, don't always want to do it. And I think there are 2 types of people. There are people who don't plan and just want to do, and then there are people who plan, and don't ever do. So this step for some people is very much of a challenge. People who want to get out of debt, I want to know down to the penny, what do you owe? And are you talking about out of debt including your mortgage or not including your mortgage? Out of debt including student loans or not student loans? Or are you talking about just credit cards? And when people tell me they want to get out of debt and I start asking them these questions, they can't answer them. How is it that you want to get out of debt and you don't even know what that means.
If we're looking at, and you said that, people are uncomfortable taking the action. I don't know if you remember 2 months ago, Lisa, when we were back in San Diego for our global leadership program, Lisa Nichols had said to us that people become comfortable with the discomfort.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, guys, I'm just going to tell you I gained 10 pounds when I moved to Kansas City. I'm not very happy about it. Clearly, you can hear it in my voice. And I worked so hard to lose 30 when I was living back in New York. I let that 10 pounds stay on me for 8 months. And I was like, all right, yeah, I just got this extra 10 pounds on me. And I became so comfortable with how uncomfortable I felt, with my jeans and the muffin top. I wasn't very happy about it, but I became so comfortable with the muffin top, that I just didn't do anything. Finally, when I couldn't take it anymore because it just didn't feel good, So I get what you're saying. I think, Doreen, that's really what you're speaking to when people are afraid to take action because that's radically different than they would have normally done things.
Absolutely. And they're even afraid to write it down because they have to fully acknowledge where you are, what it's going to take to get there. And you don't want to, some people get overwhelmed. They actually doubt whether they have the ability to do it. And so by taking these step by step, you're building your confidence along the way. So creating a plan shouldn't scare you. It should actually give you a little bit of peace of mind that you have a roadmap, that you now have something to follow, and that if you can just follow the plan, then the results that you're looking for won't be far behind.
Awesome. So, guys, we're going to go to break. You're listening to Deep Talk on KCMO 710 Talk Radio. When we get back, we're going to wrap it up with the last 2 steps of the 7 steps of radical success.
KCMO Talk Radio 710 with Laura Ingraham.
Do you feel this recovery? Or do you feel like the politicians are always trying to heap another stone on your back? Carry it another mile. Here's another stone. When you already feel so weighted down by everything, including the politicians.
Laura Ingraham, weekdays from 9 to 11 on KCMO Talk Radio 710.
Vasavi Kumar knows one thing for sure. She is no expert. Instead, she embodies and radiates acceptance, vulnerability, hope, and love, drawing from a lifetime of awareness and the primal understanding that at our very core, we crave connection and truth. Vasavi knows that by sharing her authentic self, she creates a safe place for others to not only discover, but speak their own truth. Knowing that the relationships we seek begin first within, Vasavi delivers presentations that not only uplift and inspire, but encourage each attendee to dig deep, cast away doubt, and claim the truly radiant self they've too often buried under layers of expectations, disappointments, and self-criticism. To learn more about how Vasavi can support you in getting you out of your own way, visit her at vasavikumar.com or give her a call at 913-951-1764 today. vasavikumar.com, 913-951-1764.
I'm a teacher, and my kids keep me going all day. My feet needed help. I was using a gel insole when I heard about the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole.
Only the 2-ounce Miracle is made with custom-forming Vitafoam to keep your feet steady and comfortable. The 2-ounce Miracle insoles conform to the unique shape of your feet, just like custom orthotics. Plus, they cushion and support your feet for amazing comfort.
The lightweight 2-ounce Miracle insoles really help my feet.
Try the ProFoot 2-ounce Miracle insole, available at Walgreens, Rite Aid, and other fine stores.
When you want to know what the best product is, you ask an expert. So if you want to know why the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer is the best for you and your family, just ask doctors and nurses why they use it at work and at home, and they'll tell you. The Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer gives a fast, accurate reading with just a gentle forehead scan and is backed by more than 40 published medical studies. Those all add up to peace of mind that your family is using the best and a great value for the money. Get yours today at Babies R Us, Toys R Us, and other fine retailers.
By August of next year, your medical billing and coding methods become critical to the financial success of your practice. That's when American converts to ICD-10, and your coders must be certified in over 140,000 new codes. Certification is time-consuming and costly, and you risk an increase in claim denials. Purpose Billing Services is your billing and coding solution. Their staff is certified and experienced. Contact them for a free quote today. 913-707-8710 or visit them on the web at purposebilling.com. You fix your patient's aches and pains, and they fix yours.
At Quicken Loans, we close many of our home loans in 30 days or less. But if you work with someone other than Quicken Loans, you might be dealing with a lender that takes a lot longer. Here's an analogy. I ordered a pizza 4 hours ago that should have arrived in 30 minutes or less. Think of my cold, unappetizing pizza as a mortgage from a lender that doesn't care about closing loans quickly.
Here's your pizza, dude.
You should have been here a lot sooner.
Who do you think I am? Quicken Loans?
The choice is clear. A mortgage from a lender that takes forever to close your loan, or a piping hot mortgage from Quicken Loans that arrives fresh at your door in as quick as 30 days or less. One more way, Quicken Loans is engineered to amaze. The rate today on a 30-year fixed mortgage is an incredible 3.875%. APR 4.17%. Call Quicken Loans today at 800-QUICKEN. That's 800-QUICKEN, or go to QuickenLoans.com.
Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. Nationwide licensing number 3030.
Loved ones drinking out of hand, missing work, worried about losing their job? Find out how Valley Hope can help. We've spent over 40 years helping the people of Kansas help themselves. To find out how we can help you, call us or log on to valleyhope.org. Valley Hope has 5 locations in the state of Kansas with the expertise to make a difference. This message sponsored by this station and the Valley Hope Association.
There's another Republican candidate trying to go after the seat currently held by Emmanuel Cleaver. He'll join me at 7:05 on the KCMO Morning Show. It all kicks off at 5 a.m.
Guys, we're back. This is Deep Talk with Vasavi, and you're listening to KCMO Talk Radio 710. And I'm here with my friend, Doreen Rainey, Radical Success Coach. So, Doreen, we were just talking about create as being the 5th step of radical success. What's the next step?
Well, now you get to do something. It's A, and it's action. Now you actually got to take everything that you've done up until this point and do something with it. And you have your plan. You have made some decisions. You know what to do. You've investigated. Now you begin to walk out that plan. And this is where the rubber really meets the road. This is where you have to do something. So I always say radical is relative. So if it's about getting a raise, if it's about changing your hair color, if it's about starting a business, this is where you actually begin to take those first steps. You make an appointment with your boss. You call the hair salon and you ask for a consultation. You actually start working on your business plan. Now that you've put all of this together, you actually have to start doing something.
So now that you've actually started doing something, how do we tie this all together? What's the last step?
The last step is lifelong learning. And, you know, you always want to be associated with people who can support you, who can lift you up, and who have your back and can be your cheerleader. And you find those people as you continue to pursue your own development. My support system comes from the mastermind groups that I've become a part of. They've come from coaching programs that I've been a part of. That's where I found my tribe. And so people have to think about, if I'm going to be in action, how can I align myself with the right people so that I can continue to learn and grow?
Thank you so much, Doreen. Guys, it's been so sweet. Such a pleasure to talk to you, Doreen. And thank you so much for coming on the show and talking today about the 7 steps of radical success. I can't wait to see you in D.C.
Thank you.
Bye. Guys, you don't want to miss next week's show because I'm going to be speaking to Andy Dooley. So he is a law of attraction expert. He's a spiritual comedian and the vibration activation coach. We've been talking a lot about the law of attraction and how success truly is a frame of mind. Well, Andy has a very unique perspective on attracting what you want. He's created a process called vibration activation. It's really the art and science of activating a positive vibration within yourself that becomes your new point of attraction. I actually had the privilege of seeing him speak live in Kansas City a few weeks ago, And I was able to learn the vibration activation process, and the results have been amazing. Andy is absolutely hysterical. For those of you who are familiar with Notes from the Universe, which was created by Mike Dooley, this is actually his younger brother, Andy Dooley. So it is such a pleasure that he's going to be on the show next week. I want to say thanks again to our wonderful guest, Doreen Rainey, Radical Success Coach. I really loved her 7 steps to radical success. And in case you missed it, here they are. The first step, R, is to realize, is to take responsibility for how your life has gone up until this point. Not from a place of blame or shame or making yourself wrong. This is not a time for you to beat up on yourself. It really is just take a look back at your life up until this point and just own it. Own it from a place of responsibility, and that's it. It's no point putting your energy on being victimized and blaming yourself. The second step is to affirm. Affirm to yourself that you are capable of having what you want, doing what you want, and being who you want to be. It's affirming to yourself that you are worthy, that you are deserving of having the life that you truly want. The third step is to decide, is to really take a look at the options in front of you. It could be, do I want to keep holding on to this story? Do I want to keep blaming everyone and everything in my life? Or do I want to let it go and move forward in my life because I deserve more and I want more? You get to decide. The fourth step is to investigate. Once you've decided, and my wish is that you decide the option that's going to honor you and serve you, the fourth step is to investigate. Really investigate, okay, so what is it going to take? If it's, you know what, I've been holding on to all this weight and I want to shed 30 pounds. All right, what is it going to take? Am I going to have to hire a nutritionist, find a personal trainer, join an accountability group, change my eating habits, go to the grocery store every Sunday to make sure I'm not eating out? Just really investigate what's the work that needs to be done. The fifth step is to create that specific plan. See, when you have a plan, nothing can throw you off. And even if you have other things that are kind of in your energy field, you could always look back to your plan and say, oh, that's not in my plan. Or you could say, you know what, maybe I don't want that. So just to get very crystal clear about what it is that you're working towards. The sixth step is to align. Align your mind, your body, your spirit, your words, your actions, everything, so that you're walking the walk and talking the talk. And your seventh step is to be a lifelong learner, is to surround yourself with people who are going to support you on your journey and to always be open to new possibilities. And of course, if you want to apply some of what you heard today in your life, give me a call today at 913-951-1764 or email me at vasavi@vasavikumar.com. You can also find more information about Deep Talk on the KCMO website. You know where to find us. Deep Talk on Sundays at 11 a.m. on KCMO Talk Radio 710. Be kind to yourself.